What's going on, guys? It's Dave from Team Scapegoat. I'm bringing you guys a Fluffal Deck Profile today. It's my personal deck that I run. I really like it. It's a fun OTK deck, um, and I'll go ahead and get right into it. So, first off, which you play in this deck is you play 3 Fluffal Dog. What Fluffal Dog does is when it's normal or special summon from the hand, you could add 1 Edge Imp Sabers or 1 Fluffal Monster from your deck to your hand, except Fluffal Dog. It's really easy to be able to get out a whole bunch of other plays, a whole bunch of other combos. So I run 3 of them. The next I run is 3 Fluffal Bear. Fluffal Bear allows you to pitch it from your hand, and then you could search your deck for a toy vendor and immediately set toy vendor onto your field. You can also tribute Fluffal Bear from your side of the field to the grave and add 1 poly from your graveyard to your hand. The next card I run is 3 Fluffal Mouse. What it does when it's normal or special, you can search your deck for 2 more Fluffal Mouse and then special summon them out into the field. Next card is 2 Fluffal Wings. One is another Fluffal, and 2, if this card is in your graveyard and you control a toy vendor, you're able to banish this card and also another Fluffal in your graveyard, and you can draw a card, destroy your toy vendor, which you plus off that, and then you draw another card. So it's really, really good. Next card is 1 Fluffal Owl. When it's normal or special from the hand, you can add 1 poly to from your deck to your hand, or while it's on the field, you can pay 500 life points to special summon 1 Frightfur Fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or your side of the field. So basically, a searcher for poly. You can get poly off of it. You can use it as poly on the field. It's an overall really good card. And then my final Fluffal monster I play is Fluffal Sheep. Fluffal Sheep is if you control a Fluffal monster except Fluffal Sheep, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can return 1 other Fluffal monster that you control, and then special summon 1 Edge Imp monster from your hand or graveyard. Allows you to be able to go into a lot of your Frightfur monsters and just bounces cards back to your hand if you don't want them on the field. On to the next monsters. I run 3 Edge Imp Chains. Edge Imp Chain is, I think, in my opinion, a really good card. If you wanted to, you probably could cut it down to 2, but I like it at 3. It's when this card declares an attack, you can add 1 Edge Imp Chain from your deck to your hand. But if this card was sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Frightfur card from your deck to your hand, but you can only use 1 per turn. It allows you to search out Frightfur Fusions and Frightfur Factories and stuff like that. I think it's a really good card, but if you wanted to, you could cut it down too. Now the next card I have is 2 Edge Imp Sabers. Edge Imp Sabers is a really, really good card for this deck. You need it to go into your fusion monsters. However, you do not want to draw into it, but if you draw into it, it's okay, I guess, but you really don't really want to see it. It's really easily searchable. You can search it through Fluffal Dog, through Toy Vendor, cards like that. What it does is when this card is in your graveyard, you can place 1 card from your hand onto the top of your deck to special summon this card out, and you can only use 1 per turn. Now the next card I have, I play 1 King of the Swamp. I would play 3, but they're just too expensive right now. I have a couple other cards in this deck to supplement it. But King of the Swamp is you can send it from your hand to the graveyard to add 1 poly to your hand, and it also acts as any 1 fusion material monster for a fusion card. But you can only use 1. My next card is a tech card in my choice. I play Performapal Trump Witch. What Trump Witch does is in the Pendulum Zone, it lets you fusion summon without using poly, but all the cards that you fusion summon with have to be out on your field. And while it's on the field, as its monster effect, you contribute it to add a poly to your deck. So it's another way to search out poly. That's it for the monsters. There's a hefty monster lineup. The next is the spells, and I play 3 Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor is the overall best card in the deck, in my opinion. I love this card. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card and draw a card and reveal it. If it's a Fluffal monster, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. Otherwise, discard it to your graveyard. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Edge Imp Sabers or 1 Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand. It allows you to search out basically any Fluffal monster in your deck. It allows you to search out any Frightfur monster in your Edge Imp Sabers card in your deck. And then if you reveal a Fluffal, you're able to special summon it. So that's another another Fluffal on the field. My overall favorite thing to do with that is to you top deck Edge Imp Sabers, and then you top deck Fluffal Mouse with Edge Imp Sabers, and then you use Toy Vendor's effect to reveal it. So then you could reveal Fluffal Mouse, and then you would be able to special summon 2 more. So all 4 of these cards right here are all special summoned. And then you'd be able to use Poly and then go into one of your Frightfur monsters. Alright. Next spell card is Frightfur Fusion. This card allows you to banish materials from your graveyard and side of the field to go into your extra deck monsters. I use this a lot, especially when I go into Wolf. You can use Poly for your Tiger, your Frightfur Tiger, and then you go Frightfur Fusion and then banish those exact materials that you just used to go into Frightfur Wolf, and then it's an OTK right there. My next card that I use is Frightfur Factory. I think Frightfur Factory is a really good card late game. It's not too good in opening game, like the first hand. What it does is you can banish 1 Poly spell card or 1 Fusion spell card from your graveyard, except a Fusion Wave Motion. Fusion summon 1 Frightfur Fusion monster from your deck or extra deck using monsters from your hand or side of the field as fusion materials. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 of your banished Frightfur Fusions and add it to your hand, but you can only use it once per turn. And then next, I play 2 Polymerizations because it's a fusion deck. You kind of need it, but the reason I play 2 is because I play 1 Fusion Substitute, and this card is treated as a Polymerization, but Fusion Substitute is a really, really, really good card. I recommend it if you're running any kind of fusion deck. You should run Fusion Substitute. What it does is you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 fusion monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and then draw a card. I think it's a super, super, really, really good card. Also, it's super easily searchable. All polys are super easily searchable in this deck. There's 4, I think, that search out poly in this deck. The next card that I have is Fusion Sage. This is my replacement for the King of the Swamps. Basically what it does is you can send it to the graveyard and add 1 Polymerization card to your hand. The next card I play is 2 Instant Fusions. Instant Fusion, you would be able to go into your extra deck and special summon out a Sheep. I'll get more into that in a minute. 2 Twin Twisters. You can discard your Toy Vendor and then pop 2 of your opponents, and then or even pop 1 of your own controlled Toy Vendors. Then you get the Toy Vendor effect. 1 Foolish Burial. You'd be able to send Wings to the grave and be able to get more Fluffals in the grave if you needed it. 1 Dark Hole. If you have a Regeki, I'd run a Regeki, but right now I don't. Dark Hole is also good, puts more Fluffals in your grave, and then that way you can use Frightfur Fusions. 1 Upstart Goblin, be able to let you draw a card. And then 2 tech choices that I have for this. Dark World Dealings. Personally, you could take this out for a lure. I personally run it because it lets me draw a card and then discard a card. So if I draw into a card, I can discard Toy Vendor possibly and get Toy Vendor's effect, or I could discard Wings, get more Fluffals in the grave. I think it's a good card for this deck, but it's your choice to run Dark World Dealings or if you want to run a lure. And then for my final card, I run Burial from a Different Dimension. It lets me target up to 3 of my banished monsters and return them to the graveyard. So after using Frightfur Fusion, I can just add those monsters back and do it all again next turn. That's 40 cards. That's the main lineup. No traps in this deck. And then on to the extra deck, I run 2 Frightfur Wolf. Frightfur Wolf, what it does is for every material that you use, it can attack that many times, and it has 2,000 attack, which is really, really, really good if you're able to get a whole bunch of monsters out and clear your whole opponent's field. Really, really, really good. Next card is 3 Frightfur Tigers. What Frightfur Tigers does is you're able to pop that many cards of your opponent's field as materials that you use. So if you use 3 materials, you would be able to pop 3 of your opponent's cards. Next is Frightfur Sheep. Now, Frightfur Sheep, usually you would go in with, sorry about that, guys. Anyways, so Frightfur Sheep, what it does is if it attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. And if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effects, anytime it's sent to the grave, you can special summon it back out and it gains 800 attack. But you can only use the effect of Sheep once per turn. The next card I have is 2 Frightfur Saber-Tooth. Saber-Tooth is a really, really, really good card for this deck. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 Frightfur monster in your graveyard and special summon it back out. However, to summon it, you have to use 1 Frightfur monster and then one Fluffal or Saber or Edge Imp Sabers. But what you would do is you would instant fusion for Sheep, and then you would fusion summon for Frightfur Saber-Tooth using Sheep, and then Sheep would be able to get special summon back out because it's Frightfur Saber-Tooth. Frightfur Saber-Tooth also, when if this card was fusion summoned using 3 or more fusion materials, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Now the next is Norden. Norden's a good card. I never really go into it, but in case I needed to go into it for some of my XYZs, it's a good play to have. On to the XYZs is 1 Fairy Cheergirl, 2 level 4 fairy types. All the Fluffals are fairies. You can detach 1 material from this card, draw 1 card. You can only use it once per turn. 1 Castel, 1 101, and then a Photon Strike Bounzer. And that's it for the Fluffal Deck Profile. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions about the deck. If you think if you think of like a good choice to run in the deck, anything like that. And subscribe for more content. See you guys later.